Away they go from the 1400-meter marker. Uncle Roy a little bit slow out of the gates as one of the trailers early on. If and when Minnaloos Venture goes off now to lead them with the blue sleeves, and Space Merchant is back in that third position. Royal Bodyguard is near the rail. On the outside, Midas Touch. Desert Thief is near the rail, about 8 lengths off the leader. They're starting to open up. In front is Minnaloos Venture. Lost Barbados is further back in the run at this stage, about 8 or 9 lengths off them with Uncle Roy. Minnaloos Venture's not sticking around, goes towards the 800-meter marker by 6 lengths. If and when's getting a niggle or two to try and stay in touch. Midas Touch is on the outside of Space Merchant. Then comes Coldstream Guard, Royal Bodyguard, then Desert Thief, Lost Barbados, Uncle Roy's the trailer. 500 to go, Minnaloos Venture still there by 5 or 6, starts to tack to the outside. If and when is trying to throw out the challenge. Desert Thief goes right in for a run, then Royal Bodyguard. Minnaloos Venture, how much in the tank, still leads it by 2 or 3. If and when is back second. I tell you what, this horse is not stopping this Minnaloos Venture. It's still clear by 3 or 4. Now If and when is trying to close it down, but Minnaloos Venture not for the catching. Very good ride. Won it by 3. If and when second. Lost Barbados, Desert Thief and Royal Bodyguard. So Minnaloos Venture practically from gun to tape here under Brandon Lorena. Another winner for Brian Bernard. This time it's Dennis Bosch. And made a big break at about the 1000-meter marker. Went 7 or 8 lengths clear. Turned into the home stretch. I just wanted to see if there was any pressure, but he found extra. And he wins it as the tote favourite at 270. Second, number 2, If and When. Third placing. So they were well stretched out. That goes to Lost Barbados. Desert Thief's involved with Royal Bodyguard. Desert Thief will get the next place. Then Royal Bodyguard. They were followed by Space Merchant. And then came Uncle Roy and Midas Touch. So just looking at that win pool, let's just look at this head on. Minnaloos Venture comes out. I don't know if it drifted on its own or did Brandon just allow it to drift there, but just full of running still, coming to the last 200. If and When was going to try and close it down. No stick at this stage. Now Brandon changes his stick to his right hand, and Minnaloos Venture, the black Minnaloos, ends up winning it by that 3 or 4 lengths. I was telling you about 2 minutes before they started loading that win pool was on 261,000. It ended up at 768,000, almost 769,000 because of the commingling. Until the fourth race, we've got a pick 6 carryover. Back to the studio.
Well, it's another winner for Brian Bernard, and this time Minnaloos Venture. When we spoke to Vic earlier, he thought this would be a big runner, and they were right. Then you went for the cups, and it was obviously very keen, but a very good ride.
You know, Brian.
Brian. Gee, I was called D's, and I've been called Mark.
Okay, John. We decided early this morning, Victor Phobie said, what about? I said, no, let's just put the half cups on him, you know. From that draw, you know, he's always had bad draws and a bit unlucky. And I said to Brandon, you know, we put the half scoops on, he'll know that don't use him up too much, but the first half of furlong, you know, commit yourself to do what you have to do. That's either going to the front or lying up second from a bad draw, a couple of horses behind, you know. You don't want to be stuck behind them. And I think a very clever ride, you know, letting him stride. Was the average maiden field, and well done to Brian. He's back on target. Great ride by Brandon, and to all the stable, they're working well.
You got a couple more. What do you think?
I think this was my best. You know, the rest we'll just take as it comes.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
Right, Brandon. Well, the second time we're speaking to you, I thought it was a very enterprising ride. There was every chance of it being keen with the cups. But when you glance back at some stage, I don't know if you did, you would have seen you were always in control.
Mr. Paul, there was no need to glance back. He gave me a good feel all the way through, all the way to the 200. and he gave me that little effort that he needed to just sustain the last bit, and so he did.
Yeah, won a good race. Well done. It's a great double.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paul. Well done to Vic and Uncle Brian again, and Uncle Dan. Can't keep this man down.
Well done. Let's speak to Vic again. Well done. Good double.
Thanks, Mark. I mean, Paul. No, yeah, just good to see Brandon rode a very clever race, I must say. And well done, Uncle Den had the horses all fit, and we're having a bit of fun. But all marks go to Brandon. He phoned me early this morning at 6:30 saying, don't you think we should put a pair of scoops on? So we had a chat about it, phoned Uncle Den. Uncle Den said, yeah, what do we have to lose? Yeah. So it all worked in our favour. But, with the blinkers, without the blinkers, Uncle Den had the horse fit. Brandon rode a cracker, so hopefully it would have worked out the same. But we'll take the double on both hands.
Well done.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, well done. And Brian, certainly a very good double to get today. 2 of the first 3 races have gone to you. And this, bred by Favour Stud. Well done to Favour Stud, the breeders of this Black Manaloosh. And Dennis Bosch, the trainer, Brandon Arena, it's a double for him as well.